Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome. Happy Sunday morning here in Amsterdam, Schiphol. It is a rainy day here, and probably some IFR conditions, because marginal, actually. But anyway, beautiful day here. Maybe not necessarily the conditions we would have loved. We might turn it down. We might make it a little less rainy here. We turned the time back a little bit just so we could simulate more of a morning departure. But here we are in Schiphol, Amsterdam, with the beautiful Itarrow A320. We're going to be heading down to the southeast, heading back home to Italy, to Milan, to be more specific. But you know, we don't get to fly over here a whole heck of a lot. One of the reasons we like to fly over here is because of the beautiful scenery. So like I said, we might turn off the rain a little bit. I don't know. We might just leave it. We'll see. And just see what we can see on the way out. But yeah, actually lots of rain, it looks like, over the I don't know what you'd call this, I guess, just Western Europe. Lots of rain kind of plaguing the area pretty much until we get all the way down to Italy. Is our airport covered, though, with rain? I think it is. Yeah, it's kind of all in this area, so it'd probably be rainy there, too. So we might turn the rain off today. Which, as a matter of fact, let's just do that now, because this is way worse than I thought it was going to be. Let's make it, let's see. We'll just do some scattered clouds, perhaps. It looks like a little more than scattered to me. Just few clouds. We'll just do a few clouds today for our flight out of Amsterdam. It looks absolutely beautiful here. Look at that sunrise. Oh my goodness gracious. Like I said, I'll have to turn the time back a little bit as well. We've got, it's, you know, the afternoon over there now. But with all that being said, let's hop inside and get things rolling in the FENIX today. Probably going to try to shoot an RNAV approach after yesterday. And how poorly that went in the fly-by-wire, just to make sure that we are, in fact, doing things correctly. I want to confirm my theory that it's the fly-by-wire's fault, not mine. Just kidding, of course, we probably share some fault there, but... Alright, we got EHAM-2. We're going to Milan, what's the... Milan Linate today. And we'll start loading with GSX. We'll do boarding and refueling.
Boarding requested. Refueling truck is on its way.
Let's see, we are planning for 16.5 on the fuel.
Please don't load aircraft until the fuel truck arrives and ask to do it.
And we'll just kind of start stepping through some things here. Requesting a flight plan. Limp, what's up, man? Welcome to the stream. He says, no, it's the fly-by-wire. Thank you, Limp. I appreciate that. I did see your screenshots last night. Thank you for your hard work figuring that out. So what did you hit approach mode too, or no? Cruising at flight level 3. Well, we're going to the east, so we'll do 350. Line on ref, please. Oh, it feels... The FENIX is just such a beast. Like, it feels so good to be back in this thing, and, like, its EFB is just something special. Happy Sunday, guys. Everybody on Twitch and YouTube as well. We are multi-streaming. If you'd rather watch on Twitch, feel free to head over there. ! Twitch in the chat.
Hello, Captain.
To get that. Let's see. I know there's a lot of taxiing potentially here. I think it wanted me to take 18 center.
Fuel truck is in position.
Oh no, it wanted me to take 18 left. That's great, I think.
Please don't load aircraft until the fuel
I'd really
truck
rather even
arrives
take
and ask to do
2-4. No, it's this departure. The only options are 18 left and runway 4. So we'll just take
Departure checks completed.
18 left, it's not that
Bypass
far.
speed inserted.
About 20 miles out, I hit approach mode, so you did hit it, okay. And what did it come up with? Final approach path and glide path as well. We're on the Rendy 3 Echo. Rendy 3 Echo, there it is right there. Rendy 3 Echo, insert that. And runway 35 going into Linate today. They've only got one runway. And 35 would be nice because that kind of shorten our taxi for us, so we'll do that. And let's see, do they have an RNAV approach going into here? They do. They have an RNP, so we're gonna. Oh, but it has a glide slope though. It's an LPV RNP. Interesting. Okay, we're gonna take it anyways.
This way, please.
RNAV 35. It's the only option. That's the only one. So let's take it, and we'll take it from Unvib if that's an option. Well, the arrival first, I guess. What's the arrival here? The arrival is going to be Odina 4 Alpha. Can't be that many arrivals going into here. Oh my gosh, there are. Odina 4 Alpha.
May I see your boarding pass?
And then via
Please use your
Unvib.
airplane fuel system to set the desired fuel quantity.
And insert all that, and we will step through all of this as well. We're going to switch to hectopascals today over here in Europe. Whew, sorry, I had to sneeze. Get our VORs turned on. Cage our attitude indicator because that bothers me as well.
Good night.
Boy, oy, oy, oy. Getting our fuel loaded up here as we can see. And now let's step through our departure and our route. Oh my gosh. Another sneeze. Another sneeze.
Welcome on board.
Alright, we're going to be straight to the south. 182 track to Otness to AMO 47. At 220 knots. Ivlut to Lunix.
Boarding pass, please.
And then Rendy at or below flight level 065.
Good night.
And then Edubo. And then we are out on the departure procedure, like I said, to the southeast, kind of bend around a little bit. And then
Welcome
we
on
link
board.
up with the arrival at Odina. Short arrival, Odina to TZO, the Trezzo VOR, Trezzo, at or
Boarding pass,
above
please.
flight level 130. And then Unvib, and it says initial approach fix flyover for holding at or below, at or above.
This way.
See, on the chart it has 6,000.
Good night.
Unvib to Sorop is 10 miles and then 3,000 feet of Sorop. So we can do 5,000 or 6,000 there is fine. And it's Sorop, then inbound on the approach. So that's the thing with these RNAV approaches and stuff, everything usually ties in together like way nicer. Like you see how this kind of just like yesterday the ILS left us with like vectors from a certain spot. Like everything usually just goes much nicer and looks much nicer on the flight plan when you use like RNAV approaches, RNAV SIDS, RNAV stars. Like RNAV just kind of ties into everything a little bit nicer usually.
Good night.
Where the star ends, the approach begins, and so on. So I don't know, it just usually just looks nicer. Still waiting on this bad boy here. Current weather here in Amsterdam. Well, again, I guess we're probably just going to be standard because we changed the weather, unfortunately. But like I said, we don't fly here that often. I want to see the scenery, so it is what it is. Transponder is going to be on now.
Good night.
Let's come over here. No, do we need to? What else do we need to do? Start the APU at some point. Looks like they're almost done boarding. Looks like they're getting done with fueling as well, so we'll be able to start the AP here shortly. They do love their RNAV over there in Europe, they do. They think they're being forward thinking or something. Use a VOR or something. Europe. Jeez.
Hello.
I will go over ahead and get this engine, or this, well, it is an engine, I guess, but get the APU cranking. You don't actually have to turn on the fuel pumps for the APU. We learned that from Pilot Luke. it's on its own separate fuel pump that isn't up there. Look at that big, beautiful tail. That Itarrow tail. And they make you fly out their whole SID there as well. Ugh. We hate them. Ever heard of a shortcut? I mean, geez. Alright, sounds like a good APU start. Wait a couple minutes to turn on the bleed. Oh, that's cool. It was Berlin. I was flying in and they made me fly the SID, which felt like a line at Disney. Yeah, there's ones over in Germany too. They do those like box patterns where like you like enter the SID and it's like this and it's like this and like bam, 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 bam. They do like that. You're right. What do we stay overseas for a little bit? Do we do some Italian ops? Maybe we do some short hauls in the long haul jet. They love doing that type of stuff over here in Europe too. Turkish 1. We'll see. Let's do the turn the cabin lights down. Oh, look at that. Custom cabin in here too. All right. Not telling me how many passengers we have left or anything. Oh, might be done if she disappeared. I think we should wait on the baggage at this point. The luggage. Flying the Paolo Rossi today, apparently. Boarding is all done. Let's send all that to the McDo. Let's get our numbers for the takeoff as well. 18 left, sync the load sheet, sync the weather. Just standard is the only thing. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Forgive me. I broke it. I'm so sorry. Let's just, oh geez. Oh boy. Okay, so I'm gonna have to... Sure, that's fine. Whatever you want. Alright, 151, 151, 153. Transition out to 3,000. That's one of the other things I wanted to look at there. And let's send all that to the McDo as well. Let's come over here for the perf information. Transition altitude 3,000, 151, 151, 153. 1 down 0.3, 64 degrees. Excuse me. On the flex temp. And let's just make our init B page looks good here as well. It does. And let's just run through our little hat here, whatever you want to call it. LIML going down to Linate today. Perf looks good, fuel looks good, and we're gonna copy the current flight plan into there. Okay, everything looks good. You guys ready to get pushed back and get on out of here? Let's do that. We could probably turn down the integ lights in here. Let's prepare pushback and departure. We're gonna go nose to the right today. Oh, okay. Ground services. We have, let's put the bleed on. And get the beacon. Oh wait, let me get the beacon light on. I think that might change everything.
Release parking brakes.
Okay, sweet.
Please.
Si, senor.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
We got bleed pressure. Let's start number 1. Those low altitude transitions in Europe are freaky sometimes too. Yeah, they're just odd. Well, so the other thing too is the transition level is 3,000, but it's still up to flight level 6,500. So, well, flight level 065. Let me show the departure says. See, that's interesting too. The departure procedure says remain on tower frequency until passing 2,000, then contact Schiphol departure. So it's like remain on departure frequency, or remain on tower frequency, and then like do your own thing, which is that's pretty unique to Europe as well. But also like pretty efficient, you know. Then that's one less communication you have to do, one less thing that they have to worry about getting you a hold of or getting a hold of you for, you know. Actually, we got a good start on engine number 1, I guess.
Parking brakes. Waiting your confirmation for our good engine start.
Even better yet, I want to get engine start.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Alright, looks like we got a veil again at 17%, which is just a little odd, I guess. But we got 2 good engine starts. Let's go. Flaps to 1 edition norm, rudder, 0 out the rudder trim, max auto brakes. APU can come off, and we're going to go bang, bang, bang on all of that. Let me do auto on that, actually. Let's see what happens there.
Tow track disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
Beautiful sunrise departure here in Amsterdam. Let's get some likes on the stream for that. For that guy in the back who just got blown away by the engine because he walked so close to it. And the tug driver that just ran through our engine. That's nice. Let's get some likes to help pay the bills for Itarrow Airways because they're going to need a new airplane. And they're going to be in a lawsuit. There's our guy. There he is. When you contact departure in Europe, you don't say altitude there. They want you to explain everything that you're doing. Oh, really? So you mean like we're on this departure, heading this way, like doing this thing, like that type of thing? All right, guys, let's get rolling. We're gonna taxi here. We're on Alpha, and we're just gonna stay. We'll probably sidestep over to Bravo at some point. Maybe take like Alpha 8, which is kind of like straight ahead. Or we just sidestep right now. Let's just sidestep on a Bravo now, and then we could take Bravo pretty much the whole way. Interesting, Limp, interesting. I did see that there was some ATC online this morning here in Amsterdam, but I don't know, I didn't want to deal with it. Maybe if we stay in Europe, if we extend our stay here in Europe, maybe we will go with the ATC for a bit. Let's get these cabin lights off, if I remember how to do that. Lights. Yeah, I always like them better when they're off. Like, they're so bright and like ugly in the FENIX cabin, I feel like. We'll take Bravo up to November 2 and then probably Echo 6, and we'll have to cross runway 927. Takeoff config is good. And some numbers for the flight today. An hour and 23 minutes of airtime once we get up and rolling. Cruising 350, bringing 178 people with us to Milan. And what else do we got? We'll burn 8,000 of our 16,000 pounds we have on board. And yeah, that's about it. 500 miles, 524 miles to be exact. Heading down to Milan from Amsterdam. I don't blame you. Sometimes I don't feel like dealing with VATSIM as well. Yeah, especially the European VATSIMs and stuff, dude. You just never know with those guys, you know? Sometimes they speak really good English and it's fine. And it's not that big of a deal. And then sometimes they're just, you know, you're just guessing. And then it's just frustrating and you're doing the wrong things and you're worried about getting yelled at and stuff. And I just don't want to worry about that. So we're going to kind of make a right turn here on November 2. It's like the first right we can make here. Or oh, is it? Hey, that's like Echo 5, I guess. Yeah, so it would be more like this one here. And there goes our little forklift here. Beep, beep. Alright, let's get the strobes on as we cross. We'll leave the landing lights off for now. And then it'll be like a left turn here to Echo 6. Cabin is ready, good timing. As we scoot across runway 927 here. Strobes back to off for now. Scoot right past the ILS critical line. And here we go, guys. Let's get some togas in the chat. Let's get out of Schiphol and on over to Milan. Like and subscribe if you guys haven't already. It's about to get real. Some nose down pressure on the sticks. Pull them up 50. Yeah, let's set takeoff power. Manflex 64 SRS runway. Oh, SRS auto thrust is blue, no runway. Airspeed is alive. Trying to figure out the FENIX rudders. I like the fly-by-wire rudders better so far. 100 knots nose pressure off the stick. 1,000 brake gears coming up. Let's go outside. Beautiful. So a max of 220 knots here at this first fix. And we'll go pilot Luke, disarm those, and I believe those come off right away. Lever climb, let's do it. Yeah, that D rate, that's nice. Heard they're phasing out ILS systems here in the United States, going to RMP or RNAV. I mean, obviously they're definitely phasing out VORs. Like they have a whole like thing about getting rid of, like there's certain VORs that are like on the list to get like decommissioned. There's a bunch that are already decommissioned. They're keeping some, I think, as like a fallback system. But for the most part, yeah, they are getting rid of the VORs. The only, and this could be wrong too, but like I don't think they're doing any like new ILS systems. Like they're not getting rid of the ones that they have, because again, it's still the only form of precision approach that we have here in the States, technically speaking. Through 3000, let's go standard altimeter setting. And let's cut this corner. Well, I guess we're in Europe, we can't cut the corner. I just don't think they're doing any new ILS systems, and they're moving towards like VOR or RNAV and RNP stuff. So you are right. But like they can't fully get rid of them yet because they still, for whatever reason, don't recognize RNAV as a precision approach. Beautiful. Bellissimo. Oh yeah. Wowza. Yeah, Limp, in 15 years, VORs are going to be like NDBs. Oh. Oh, there's 6,500. Ooh, let's go flaps up. How about that? And let's just go up to flight level 350 as well. Ah, it's fine. Yeah, in 15 years, VORs are going to be like NDBs, where it's like, what is that? How do you do that? Be like a corded phone that I grew up with. Exactly. I wonder how different ATC is going to be too, because I mean, I'm not a controller, I don't really know, but apparently those systems are terrible that they have, and they're super outdated and super old. So wouldn't be surprised if ATC gets replaced by AI. I don't think anybody wants... I guess I wouldn't be surprised either. I guess. I don't know. I mean, I know, you know they're trying to do everything with AI, but... I don't want to see AI in the aviation industry at all. All right, let's get our lights off. Okay, wow, that was a process. Okay. Everything looks good. I don't want to see AI involved any more than it already is in the aviation industry. We don't need it. Hacking there might not even be pilots. Wait, hacking there might not even be pilots anymore here before long as well, yeah. So won't fly on a plane doesn't have a pilot on it there. That's what I'm saying. Well, the nice thing is that Airbus was trying to do the single pilot thing, and I think they got set back pretty heavily. I don't know exactly. I don't know exactly what the whole thing is there, what the whole situation is, but apparently they got set back pretty heavily. In terms of their single pilot operation stuff, so that would be great. An emergency situation by yourself, that'd be crazy. Yeah, but just anything, dude. I was talking to my captain the other day, and it was just like, we were just talking about how like all the little things, you know, like oh, did he say, you know, Echo or Tango for the taxi in, you know? He said, you know, Tango. Oh, okay. You know, like that right there, that saves you from, you know, getting a phone number and maybe, you know, just going the wrong way. And like, you know, are we clear for takeoff, or are we clear to, like, well, there's a line up away, you know? Oh, okay. You know, like, it's just, it's too much to do by yourself. Always better, exactly. Always better to have two people up there. And heck, I mean, it's probably enough of a bad enough thing that we got away from having three. Yeah, I know we don't really need the flight engineer anymore and stuff like that, but it's like, you know, I mean, a third set of eyes, the more eyes, the better. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you what, on some of those early morning flights, it'd be great to have a guy, an extra guy back there. You could be like, hey man, you want to sit here and I could take a 15-minute nap or something? Yeah, I don't know. That'd be good. That'd be great. So, yeah, I don't know. I just think that it's always infinitely better to have two or more in a flight deck, let alone one. One would just be absolutely bonkers. And yeah, like you said too, I mean, imagine, you know, weather and thunderstorms and stuff like that. Like, the AI plane, you know, it doesn't have, it's not going to be able to reason going around a thunderstorm, or, you know, like finding the best way around. Maybe, I mean, maybe it could, I don't know, but, you know, turbulence penetration speeds and all that stuff. Like, I don't know. There's just so many aspects to it that, like, again, I know the joke is like, oh, you know, you pilots just, you know, are just systems monitors anyways. And you kind of are. But, like, you also kind of aren't. Like, it's garbage in, garbage out. Like, if we didn't set this plane up to do exactly what we want it to do today and take us exactly where we want it to take us, like, it would go nowhere. Like, if we put Pittsburgh in this FMC instead of Milan, it would try to take us to Pittsburgh. You know, even though it doesn't have the fuel to do it, even though it doesn't have, you know, the capability to do that. You know, if we put Pittsburgh in there and went direct to Pittsburgh, it would start flying direct to Pittsburgh right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's garbage in, garbage out. And, yeah, trusting AI judgment calls, that'll be the day. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just don't think it's a good idea. But I'm also biased. Obviously. I don't want to lose my job. I don't want to see other pilots out there lose their jobs either. Like I said, but I really do think it's stupid. And like, could you do it? You know, could you do single pilot stuff? You know, probably, yeah. I mean, like, you could do it, and most of the time it would probably be okay. But again, it's just that like that check and balance, that just like, you know, the people that do single pilot stuff now, like it's always, you know, you look at like a Ameriflight. Like Ameriflight is you know, kind of a time building spot if you don't know, and it's like they fly like caravans and like bigger stuff too. They fly like twins, turboprops and stuff like that. And they do it all single pilot. And, you know, everybody there says it's super sketchy, it's super dangerous and stuff like that. And, you know, you're flying into ice, you're doing all this crazy stuff, single pilot. And, I don't know, it's never like a good thing. It's never like, oh, but, you know, it's single pilot, so it's cool. You know, it's like, no, man, it's like, dude, it's like single pilot. It's like freaking, like, this sucks, you know? And it's like, yeah. So, I don't know. Like, you never really hear single pilot brought up in, like single pilot is fun for, like, your first solo and, like, you know, doing your, like, cross countries and, like, time building and stuff like that. But, it sucks. I mean, my long cross country commercial was, like, a 2.5-hour flight each way. So it was, like, 5 hours of flying. Single pilot, that sucks. It's boring. You're just looking for stuff to kind of pass the time and everything like that. And it kind of sucks, so I don't know. Yeah, I just don't think it's a good idea. Alright, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I'm going to go get some water, and I'm going to go get my logbook so I can get caught up on that from the other day. What if pilots ended up being on the ground, their computers like us on the sim, with commercial passengers like a drone? I think that's maybe more realistic than like straight up AI flying, because I have thought about that before too. It's like literally exactly like a drone, just like make a 737 but with a drone. I don't know. I still think that'd be crazy and it'd just be ridiculous. But oh, I have to tally up my logbook. They're gonna be my last two slots. It's terrible. Yeah, that would be crazy, Lim. That would be crazy for sure. Getting a lot of hours, I know I've said this, but getting hours is a blessing and a curse. It's great, but tallying up the logbook is not. What a view, I just love the sim. I know, look at that coloring too. It's so good. I want to try to get back into 2024 maybe, but I don't know, man. Doesn't sound pretty. Buongiorno, Mr. Hodges, Monsieur Hodges. What's up, man? They're gonna have to fix the problems. They just ended up with the new update. Was there another new update, or is this just the new update that we were talking about last time? So just that. No special time. How are we doing today, Mr. Harjas? Jeez. We're back. Joss has not even started flapping his lips today. Nice. Update 3 has problems they're trying to address. Okay. Well, we appreciate you being here, Hardjaws, first thing here in the morning. Sometimes whenever I'm putting stuff into my ForeFlight logbook, I'll like make a mistake. And if I meant to do like 1.5 hours and I just typed in like 15 on accident, and I'm just like I wish I could just jump up like that many hours that fast. Oh my gosh. What is this? Early bird gets the worm. Of course, early worm dies first. Bro. 7:08 a.m. then 9:50 then now. Nice. Those days are the best though. Whenever you can just keep hitting snooze. I don't even set alarms anymore. Is that right? Sunlight wakes me up perfectly. Fair enough. Alright, last one in the logbook anyway. Okay. Now I just have to go through and make sure. Time looks good. .8 to .9, no actual, nothing like that. 0.8, 1.5, 1.4, 0.8, 1.0, 1.0. And then actual time, 1, 2. Cool. Alright, now time for math. I have to freaking add up all my logbook stuff. How are we looking on our routing? I guess we could do our seatbelt signs off by now. Sorry, everybody. 246 to top of descent. Alright. 54.4 hours. Basically a little under a month. It's unfortunate. It's alright. Only about 5.5 hours of nighttime over the last month. Which means about 180 hours of night total. Let's see how many hours I spent in the clouds this month. Oop. So it's 1 plus 3.3 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1.5 plus 0.5 plus 2 plus 2, 16.3 hours inside of visible moisture over the last month. Maybe about 141 hours of that. No sim. Cross country is going to be the same. 54.4. Bring me to 745 hours of cross-country time. And 655 hours of PIC, or SIC time. Sorry, I wish it was PIC time. That didn't change. 9:49 and a half is the total time right now. Oh shoot, gosh dang it. 54.4, 9:49.5. I believe that does match what ForeFlight says. When you do a morning stream, you can always tell who goes to bed early. You have the makings of an old guy. Listen, bro. You gotta do what you gotta do around here. I go to bed early because I gotta work. Alright? .907. .935.3. Nighttime 180.9. Actual 141.7. Sim 72.6. I wish I could log Microsoft Flight Simulator time. 745.8 for the cross country. 745.8. 655.0. Dual 202.4. PIC. And all right. All set up for today. But of course, it's important to be up early on Sunday anyways. That's right. Go to church today. Speaking of church, let's do the verse of the day. It's from Romans. Should at least get half the time for the sim. Exactly. I'm gonna have to talk with the FAA. All right, let's look at Romans chapter 8, verse 6. As we cruise here, we're getting close. 186 miles to go till our top of descent. So we are getting there. So Romans 8, 6. So letting your sinful nature control your mind leads to death, but letting the Spirit control your minds leads to life and peace. So basically all this is kind of saying is, you know, they say you are what you eat. I believe the same is true with what you are what you think. If you think about sinful things, about lustful things, about greed, about money, about power, if those are the things that you think of, then that's kind of what you're gonna be. That's kind of what you're gonna be, is what you're thinking of. The same is true if you're thinking about God more than anything else. If you're thinking about peace, if you're thinking about love, thinking about the fruits of the Spirit, right? Gentleness, kindness, self-control, all the other ones, whatever they are, I don't have memorized. But the rest of those fruits of the spirits, if those are the things you're setting your mind on, then that's kind of who you're going to be. You're going to be somebody who is gentle, is kind, is loving, has self-control, is disciplined, loves God. You know, that's going to be the person you're going to be if those are the things you're primarily thinking about. So guard your mind as well as your heart and what you're thinking of, as well the music that you listen to. You know, I've tried, there's a lot of good non-cheesy like Christian rappers and artists and stuff like that out there that I try my best to listen to, as opposed, you know, whenever I'm at the gym or something like that, as opposed to like, I don't know, like Drake or like even like Post Malone. I like some of Post Malone's songs, but some of them are pretty bad. But like, if those are the things you're thinking about, if those are the things you're listening to and putting your mind to, then those are the things that you're going to think about. You're going to spend more time thinking about those things than the Lord, and then, like I said, the fruits of the Spirit in those ways. So yeah. Enduring Word goes a little bit deeper with verses 5 through 8 instead of just verse 6. Hardai says that it might not happen intentionally, but a key word is nature. It's in our inborn nature to think and act in those sinful ways. So you have to be meaningful action to let the Spirit intervene. Yeah, exactly, right? It's, you don't have to teach a kid to be good, right? You have to, or I'm sorry, you don't have to teach a kid to be bad. You have to teach him to be good. And you know, you're right. Our mind kind of defaults to those things, but you have to make an effort to let the Holy Spirit in. Well said. Yeah, so 5 through 8 says, for those who live according to the flesh, set their minds on things of the flesh. So those types of things, again, are like greed, money, you know, coveting somebody else's wife or things, like those types of things. But those who live in according to the Spirit, the things of the Spirit. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace, because the carnal mind is enmity against God. What kind of, I don't know what version this is enmity against God, for it is not subject to the law of God, nor indeed can be. So then those who are in the flesh cannot please God. So again, if you're setting your mind on things of the world, on things of the flesh, your mind cannot be with God. You can't serve those two masters at the same time. But if you are setting your mind on things of the Holy Spirit, then you can please God by thinking in that way. That's about it. Everything Enduring Word has to say is pretty much in line with what we're talking about there. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. You know, and just looking at it quickly, we might go back to 2024 here soon for the 330. I really like that 330. It's crazy. It's just like, it's like raining in like all of Europe right now. France, up in the Netherlands, down in Italy, and everywhere in between. Eat your fiber, exercise regularly. Well said. Lim said, nowadays my mind seems to go towards calm and peace. What projects I'm working on for the day and what big ones are for dinner. And the big one is what's for dinner. I like that. That's great. And that's awesome that that's where your mind goes. Crazy Franks, crazy videos. What's up, man? Welcome to the stream. This is 2020 today. We're in 2020. I couldn't see where the thing was pointing. 124 miles till top of descent. I guess as good a time as any to get started with the briefings and weather and whatnot. Let's do this. Let's do this over here so that way I can put up Navigraph over here. I'll bring up the arrival of the weather. Guess I didn't learn the fiber thing till later. Yeah, I'm still not good with that either. 1006. Temperature 30, hot day. And the wind is 140 at 10. And the minimums on the RNAV RNP runway 35 approach are, refer to minimums, going to be LPV, and I think category either B or C. We're not going to really need them. Let's just go 660. I think we're category B. Oh, shoot. Can I do that now? And with that, we can kind of brief the approach and the arrival and everything like that as well. 9 full crowns of broccoli. Is that right? That's what we need? C? Limp says? Okay, thank you. What does that mean? Fruits, veggies should be a part of every meal. Right. So again, looking at the arrival and how it ties into everything from Modena, coming off the south side of the Alps here to the Trezzo VOR at or above flight level 130, unvib at or above 6,000 feet. And no transition level issued by ATC. Again, I don't know what that means. How do they get to decide the transition level? It doesn't make any sense to me. But then here's what I was kind of talking about with the tying in very nicely. Unvib, end of the arrival, start of the approach is initial approach fix. Inbound to Sorop, Mike Lima 702 and then 703. Mike Lima 702 is our final approach fix, 2,500 feet. 337 on the runway elevation height. Ignos? I don't even know what Ignos means. Yeah, it's their version of like WAS. Missed approach climb 3,000, 335 heading to Mike Lima 704 at 1,000 feet or above, then a right turn 210 knots, on track 143, proceed on course 104, inbound to Tukaz and join holding there. Transition out to 6,000 feet on the way in here. Let's see. 065. What is that? 6,000. Uh, 060. And then this is an LPV approach. So we don't need these minimums, we just need these ones over here. And yeah, that's about it. Should be visuals. This will all just be visual backed up by the RNAV. We should get our glide slope intercept there at Mike Lima 702. Be at 6,000, and then we need to be at 3,000 by SOROP. So again, we have 10 miles, those are 3,000 feet. We should be able to do that. And should just kind of go from there. So, and then it'll be a right exit at the end on Gulf. So that is the approach and arrival briefing completed. Hardest says maybe the transition level says whatever altitude the country airspace designates you have to change from standard to local altimeter. Well, it is, but like how, why does, like in the US everything's 18,000 obviously. But why does, like, it always says that in Europe. It always says that it's by ATC. Like, why do they get to decide? Like, why, what makes it different? Is it because of the terrain? Is it because of the, like, I just don't get it. I don't get it. Because they be cool in their own heads. Yeah, something like that, Crazy Frank. I think that is it. Did some research versus terrain. Okay. Watching Fox News, the only news station. All right, Crazy Frank. We're one big country, and over there they have to regulate tens of countries. Yeah, that is a good point, because they got all kinds of little countries all right next to each other, like little states. 55 miles to go to our top of descent. Cruising over the Alps right now, I think. Yeah, just kind of starting, getting over the Alps. Really cool. Yeah, very true, Limp. It can be different from, literally from within the same country. You're right, Harjas. Not a whole lot of freedom out this way. Beautiful livery, though. What is that? Why did it just... Is it that bumpy? See the seatbelt signs on then. Maybe he's hitting some mountain waves. That'd be crazy if mountain waves were simulated, I'm not gonna lie. Sounds good, Harjas. Romans 12:12, do not conform to the pattern of the world, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Amen, Crazy Frank. That's a great one. Love that one. Yeah, listen to those engines. They are working hard. Those Alps must be hitting some... We must be getting some pretty crazy mountain waves out here. How long is this runway? 8,000 feet. Let's just make sure we're good on our landing performance here as well. 3.5. Oh, I gotta go with the landing weight. Pilot Luke taught us how to figure that out, but we're just gonna go with whatever it says here. 143. Okay, we'll do 142 then. Medium auto brake? Yeah, low auto brake doesn't do it. Better go medium auto brake with reverse. Alright. So another kind of, not necessarily a short field landing, but a shorter field landing for sure. I think with that turn, it's time to descend. Let's go ahead and start on down. I don't know. I guess we're just pulling it. Because, what is it, 13,000? At or above flight level 130 here. 13,000 at the Atrezzo VOR. So we got our seatbelt signs on because it started getting bumpy over the Alps. And we're already kind of on the other side of them. So for the rest of the descent should hopefully be smoothish. Alright, let's see here. About 30 miles from the Atrezzo VOR. Probably a bit high at this point. Let's go ahead and throw some speed brake out. Oh yeah, there's those beautiful Alps, baby. Just do vertical speed. Make sure we're at 13,000 at Atrezzo. Maybe we can do... Actually add 6,000 or even 5,000. We'll do 6,000 for now. Let's just make sure we'll do less than 4,000. Let's just do 6,000. Let's just input that and then just make sure we'll be at 6,000 by unvib. How about that? That'll be good right there. I love how the sound changes when you put the speed brakes out versus when you don't have them out. I love that. All right, speed brake time. Really wish they would incorporate the landing light drag and sound in the Phoenix. Yeah, that's true. That'd be cool. That would be pretty cool. That'd be wild. I definitely gotta have the speed brake out. We gotta get down to 250 knots here. We'll go full speed brake. Willie, what's up, man? Welcome to the stream. Brand new to Microsoft, like started last week. Why'd it take me so long to get into this? That's right. That is a good question. Why did it take you so long to get into this? Let's back the descent rate off a bit here. Limp says when you're flying in the Airbus IRL, you always know when you're at 10,000 feet. Welcome to the expensive hobby of flight simming. Yeah, well said. Expensive hobby indeed, but a fun one, a great one. Oh geez, that was unvib. Hang on, so we need to really kind of get a grip here on our speed. Let's go. What's our gear speed? We might need to go gear down here. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, we're under 250. Once we get under 250, I'll probably throw the gear down. Let's arm approach mode, like Lim says. We got out final app nav. 2500. Standard altimeter setting, which I think is just going to be standard because of this. We're pretty high here. Okay, so let's go gear down. Let's get some of that extra drag out. I hope it's not going to overspeed him. I don't know what the gear speed is. So somebody asked recently, like, what's a good speed to put your gear down? And again, the answer is it kind of does depend. It's like if you need to get your gear out, like if you're in a situation like this where you're high and you're fast, get them out. You know what I'm saying? Like get the gear out. Let's see this here. So we go to just the green dot speeds and everything. If you're in a situation like this where you're high and fast, just get the gear down. Don't mess around with it. As long as you're under your gear speed, which looks like I don't know. I honestly don't know what it was, but yeah. Welcome, Willie. If you have any questions, be sure to let any of us know here. We'd all love to help you out. Let's see if it catches. There you go. Final app. Okay, so it caught that now. So we'll put the speed brake away. Let's go flaps 2. If you have a question, Willie, like I said, feel free to ask any of us here. Join the Discord as well, Willie. We've got a nice Discord community as well with guys that are willing to help you out at any time. So yeah. And we've got ourselves a beautiful approach. Oh, with all the broken trees and everything, but it's all right. Flaps 3. And I'll probably go flaps full as well. Let's go arm the spoilers. Everything else looks good. We should get this guy coming up here soon. Yeah, so with this vertical deviation, again, you'd expect to get, or with the vertical guidance on this approach, you'd expect the vertical deviation brick. And again, I guess, you know, arming approach mode is fine. I think maybe you don't arm approach mode when there's no vertical guidance, and then you just do, it gives you the lateral deviation brick, and you kind of go from there. Misapproach altitude's 3,000 feet, so we'll just go ahead and set that. But now, like I said, now that we're on the approach, it's going to act like an ILS, basically, where it's going to follow the vertical guidance, it's going to follow the lateral guidance, but only because it's an LPV with true vertical guidance, versus, I think, where the other ones only had uncompensated, or, well, not uncompensated, but it only had Barrow VNAV guidance, I think. So I guess but yeah, pretty easy. It went app nav before we were even on final, which was cool too. Just inside the initial approach fix. Don't forget to recycle the flight directors. What does that mean? Like that? What does that have to do with anything? What percentage of flight simmers would you say are pilots in real life? It depends. I mean, some guys are private pilots. Some guys are, you know, like me. Like I started whenever probably I had like my private pilot's license, and now I'm a commercial pilot. It just depends. At 500 feet, what the heck does that do? Percentage-wise, though, I don't know. Maybe 30%. Is that fair, Limp? Maybe more than that, because I feel like, I don't know, 30% or higher, I would say maybe. Let's go autopilot off. After you take control of the plane, you always recycle the flight directors. There you go. Is that better? Look at Limp, Mr. Airbus over here. You've been very resourceful in terms of Airbus knowledge recently, Limp. This is very nice. Mr. Airbus himself.
1,000.
Beautiful approach. Kind of same thing going to John Wayne yesterday. Obviously, this runway's longer, but not that much longer. We don't want to float like crazy here. Funny thing is, I fly the Boeing 737 mostly. I know, that's why I'm surprised that you're just dropping all this Airbus knowledge on me. Yeah, landing rates. Limp says 223. Oh shoot, I'm gonna open New Sky real quick so I actually get one. Oh no, it's gonna be all over my screen. Okay, there we go. We're good. Landing. Whoa! Get out of here. You guys probably didn't see that, but I got a big blue screen
200.
because of New Sky for a second there. Okay.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard. Retard. Retard.
I will take that. At 181. Says New Sky. Reverses green. Speed brakes are up. Blared at the right time, I guess. Let's get on the brakes. And actually, we'll just keep rolling. Thank you, New Sky, for the landing rate. See, like yesterday, basically what I did in the flare was whenever, you know, we were at like 50, I started pulling up a little bit, maybe to like 2.5 degrees. And then like whenever we were first time seeing not over flare, well, I wanted to, because whenever I flared initially, like I pulled back and it didn't do anything. The nose didn't come up at all. And I was like, okay, but I'm just going to trust it because I always over flare in this thing. And it didn't. It just took a second, but the nose came up and it ended up being perfect. But I don't know why it's so delayed. Like in the fly-by-wire yesterday, whenever we flared, the nose came right up to 2.5, 5 degrees whenever I wanted it to, and we did it perfectly. It greased 2 landings yesterday. So, you know, oh, we didn't have any lights on. Oops. Well. So, I don't know. But yeah, like I said, all I did was I basically, like, I pulled up, I flared, and I was waiting to see this come up, and it didn't. But again, I was just like, all right, I'm just going to trust it. And I trusted it, and it came up to, like, right around that 2.5, 5 degree mark. And it was a nice greaser. It was, like, right as we needed to touch down. So it was good timing for once. Good timing for once, I guess, here. We'll just park straight ahead here. Get our lights off. All right, we'll stop it there. Set the parking brake. Excuse me, jeez. And APU is available. Look at that. Perfect timing. Let's go ahead with the bleed on now, and we'll shut down the engines. Wait for under 10% on these. And we'll get the beacon light off. Seatbelt signs come off. There we go. And GSX, go back away.
Boarding requested.
Sure. And then we'll go back over here and... Okay, or not. Oh, there we go. Deboard, yes. Perfect. Alrighty, guys. Welcome to Milan Linate here in Italy. Hope you guys had a great flight. Thank you so much for tuning in. William, welcome to the Flight Sim community. Like and subscribe if you guys haven't already, if you guys are new here. And join the Discord as well with links in the description. Yeah, guys, thank you so much for stopping by. Appreciate you. I'm not sure if we'll be able to stream tomorrow morning again, but I'll let you guys know. We'll just keep an eye on the Discord, and we'll let you know when we're going to be streaming again, guys. So again, thank you very much for being here, and we will catch you all on the next one. Peace.